All right, I took a little bit of a break so I could eat some breakfast, and now I'm back. So now I need to analyze and see what I did wrong. For starters, the trade that I had open over here just to see, obviously it got destroyed. Um, so there was one really, really big thing that I didn't see and I should have seen. Um, so yes, we were showing very bearish, very, very bearish, 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 bearish. You know, everything indicated to me that we wanted to be bearish today. However, there was one key factor that changed the entire outlook of today, which was SMTs. So, um, on Dow Jones, the structure was bullish. We didn't see anything sweep here. We didn't see anything sweep here. We didn't see anything sweep here. On S&P 500, same thing. Structure was kind of a consolidation. Nothing swept Asian lows, nothing swept London lows, nothing swept New York lows, right? But in Nasdaq, we see Asian lows get swept, London lows get swept, and New York starts to build higher. We do see this rejection wick, absolutely. We do see bearish price action, absolutely. But what we saw was SMTs, especially within the oh, that's not what I meant to click. Within the 5 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. time frame, um, we can see that S&P 500 nothing was swept. Dow Jones, the only thing that was swept was this low, but this low wasn't like super prominent, super crazy, anything that we really cared about. But S&P or Nasdaq swept the every single low. So we can see on S&P or Nasdaq, we can see this low gets swept along with this low right here on Dow Jones. S&P 500 doesn't sweep that low, and that's the one that we want to focus on actually. I just realized, yes, actually this low is very important because it is within the 5 a.m. to or 9:30 a.m. time frame where both Nasdaq and Dow Jones sweep this low, but S&P 500 creates the SMT divergence, which doesn't sweep that low. So once we see this happen, we see bullish structure occur. We go down to lower time frames. And we see, okay, here, right here is the perfect entry at 50% levels. We go down to the 5 minute time frame. We see, okay, for Valley Gap, we'll have one here, we'll have one here, we'll have one here, we'll have one here, we'll have one maybe like, we'll have a few maybe lower, right? And then stops would be just down here. Um, that's what should have been done, right? We see 5 minute velocity on bearish side, but we don't continue it. We see this happen right here, this consolidation block, right? This should have been an indication that we do not want to be bearish anymore. There's no point in being bearish, right? We break CISD right here, um, right here, right, and we then see a BISI form, right? A buy side inefficiency, sell side imbalance. No, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. I believe that's what it is. I get it mixed up. But then we see that form fair value gap here, bullish fair value gap right there. We go down to the 1 minute. We see okay, price is oh my god, why is there hair in my eye? I need a cut. I need a cut so bad. I need a cut so bad. But yeah, so then we see a price retest this level, and then we could have gotten in here. We could have gotten in here. We could have gotten in here. Regardless, I think my biggest problem today was purely just the fact that I didn't look at these levels because the SMT from 5 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. is always one of the most important, right? If we see that SMT happen, we need to follow the structure, right? So right here it happens a little late on Dow Jones, but it still happens regardless. Nasdaq, it happens, and S&P 500 is the only one that doesn't create that SMT, right? So then we just want to see, hey, is there any possible chance that we go bullish instead of bearish? Um, that was my definite biggest issue. So let me grab my notebook. So yeah, my biggest issue was for sure not checking the SMT, right? Um, I wouldn't say I married the idea today, because I did that on Tuesday and Monday, and that's what lost, right? But I only took one trade today. Um, but I definitely didn't analyze enough, right? So let me write this down real quick. Journal. Today is May 14th, 2026, right? Um, so I need to make sure, make sure to analyze everything I know, everything in all caps. I know because oftentimes I forget one thing and I end up losing. Uh, then we say, everything I know can and will help. Everything I've learned can and will help your trading. So yeah, that was honestly my biggest problem for today. I don't really know what other mistake I made. Um, like, let me think. I mean, yeah, we saw the change in state of delivery and then it came back into it. And if we wanted to, we could have even said this was the change in state of delivery right here. Right? Mm, don't rely too much on velocity. That's what I need to do. Because today I definitely think I really heavily relied on seeing velocity. Um, but velocity just kept going back and forth. So I realistically just buried or dug my own grave there. Because I kept looking at velocity and there was velocity both directions multiple different times. So once I start seeing multiple different forms of velocity, I need to reevaluate what I'm thinking. Um, yeah, so for sure, we write down don't rely too much on only one price mover, one um uh I don't know because velocity is not really a we'll just say confluence, right? We'll just say confluence for lack of better words. Confluence slash price move idea. We'll just say something like that, right? Um, today I relied too much on velocity and it dug my own grave. When I see when I see velocity multiple times in different directions, it's time to re-evaluate my idea. This goes with all other trade ideas as well. So yeah, I definitely believe that I messed up in two big fronts, and the first one was 1,000% the SMT divergence, because this candle right here on S&P 500, it did not take liquidity, but Dow Jones and Nasdaq showed it, which was prime example of a strong SMT, right? Um, and then my second one was definitely relying too much on velocity, because I was trying to see bearish velocity, trying to see if price would move lower, right? And I see it multiple times in multiple different directions. We see velocity right here in this chunk, and then we slowly move up, and then we see velocity down here in this chunk, and then we see velocity right here in this chunk, and then we slowly move down, and then we slowly move back up, and then we see velocity bearish right here, and then we slowly move back up, and it's just it really was not a profitable thing to do, or a smart thing to do, just to rely on my velocity. Oh wow, I just smacked my monitor. Okay. uh so yeah, I think definitely those two fronts were my biggest issues. I don't really know. I mean, I guess we could say that I missed out on the ISP, but I don't know, because I don't think I really would have seen this unless this were to be hit, right? I mean, we could say, yeah, we see it here, we see it here, we see it here. We don't see it here. We see it right here. Um, but I mean, those are the only kind of levels that are there. Ooh, I have old lines all the way back here. Um, but yeah, I mean, I definitely could have done better. Uh, is it the end of the world? No, but it is kind of tragic. I need to get rid of some of these things that I keep leaving. Right? Where are we? 14th. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of would be a short review day because I only did take one trade. I lost it, and I do understand why. Um, if anything, I originally said that we might sweep Asian highs before we see any bearish price action. What I should have done probably was take some time to just, relax, do something else, and wait to see if we do take this high, right? I would have obviously missed the rest of this move, but I mean, when you're unclear, it's better to not take a trade than to take a trade and end up losing, which I did today, right? I thought I was clear. I thought I was. I understood exactly what was going to happen. But again, I just forgot to check some things. I could have done so much better for sure. Because I was looking at these lows, and I was thinking, we would want to take liquidity back here, some form of long term liquidity before we move bullish, right? So it makes no sense to move bullish right now, and instead I didn't go to S&P 500 to check. Oh, this is showing higher lows and higher highs for the last like 12 hours, and we didn't sweep this low. This is showing higher lows and higher highs for the last 12 hours, and it swept this liquidity. S&P 500 didn't sweep this liquidity, Nasdaq swept this liquidity. So that's 2 out of the 3, which means one of them is showing an SMT divergence and it's lagging behind. So what do we want to do? We want to follow the lagging index's direction, right? Which is the S&P 500, which means we want to go bullish. So definitely should have seen that. I should have been able to win on the day. Unfortunately, I didn't. But again, that is what this whole thing is for, to learn my faults and start getting much more consistent in what I'm doing. But that's gonna be a wrap for the day. I'm just gonna go ahead and get some other work done, see if I can backtest later, and then edit a couple of videos, and then post a few things, and then go get a haircut. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow for the final day of this week. Not the final day of the series, the final day of this week. And then we'll make a plan tomorrow on what we're gonna do next week, whether we buy another account or we just wait it out. But I do think I'm gonna wait it out, because looking at these days and logging it, I am profitable on the week in technicality, but I'm not consistent. I'm 1 for 4 in terms of winning. Yes, that one day wiped out my losses so far, but it's not consistent enough for me to be proud of it. I'm trying to wait for maybe more of like a 3 out of 5 day week, maybe a 4 out of 5 day week, and hopefully do it consistently for like 2 to 3 weeks. So hopefully, next week I learn my lessons and I take better trades. We do maybe 3 out of 5 days next week, and then the week after that maybe 4 out of 5 days, and the week after that maybe 4 out of 5 again, maybe 5 out of 5. Just to stay consistent, and if we can do that, if I can show myself that I can do that, I will buy an account and then I will go back in, um, balls deep, and hopefully get the first payout. And I was gonna say before my birthday, before I turn 19, but my birthday's in 10 days, so I can't do it before I'm 19 probably. But I mean, no rush really. I need to see that consistency. I need to see that strength in my trading. I need to see that confidence. I need to see that the profitable habits form, and then the good strategies, good mentality during trades, and that'll clear me for like my whole life. Like, let's hope, right? But again, work is more than hope. But yeah, so next week I will, or tomorrow I will record another one.